So to download Visual Studio Code, you can go to Google and type VS Code. Visual Code is basically a development environment, development platform, all right, that aggregates these three components that you need to use to code. That is a notepad, a terminal, and a file explorer. All right, so putting these three elements, these three components together, you have your development environment, your minimum development environment, obviously, because you have already installed Python. Right, you need the development platform installed in your computer. This is basically a platform that puts together the three basic components that you need: the notepad to write your code, the file explorer to manage your files, and the terminal to run your commands. All right, to run your programs, to run your files, your Python files or any other file that you're going to understand in the future. All right, so we can Google it, we can click here, we can download in this session, and you can choose your platform. I'm going to choose Windows. All right, and let me download this. While it's being downloaded, one of the best things nowadays of using VS Code is that VS Code comes with the Copilot. That is basically a chat that if you sign, if you pay them, you can basically put an AI to program, to create your code, to program for you. All right, so you pass the instructions and it writes your program. It reads your programs, it reads your code, it understands, it gives you tips, it identifies for you the root cause of a problem and explains to you, or if you want, it even codes for you, even fix for you. All right, so this is the new age of programming. You are going to put AI to code for you. All right, but obviously to put the AI to code for you, you need to know how to code. All right, because how can you check if the AI created what you wanted? How can you assure that AI understood what you wanted it to create? So you don't have a choice. You need to know how to program, even to program with AI. All right, so now that I have downloaded my Visual Studio Code, here you can see here I can click here to run. All right, and let's install it. You're probably going to face some problems because you didn't install the Visual C++ distribution, but don't worry, just click here and accept the agreement terms. Click next, click next, click next, and you can see here that it's already in the path. All right, it comes checked, different than Python. So click next and click install. All right, so it is going to install now, but if it's the first time you're installing Visual Code, you're probably going to face some problems, and it is going to tell you that you cannot install Visual Code without the Visual C++ distribution, but it's going to open a screen you can install during the installation of Visual Code. It's not a blocker for you to install. All right, so let's wait for this to finish. All right, let's try to initiate. Let's go to the same place that we were before, where our files are saved. All right, so here, Felipe, where is the first Python files? Here. All right, I can copy this URL right here, Control C or Command C if you're in macOS. I can open the terminal, so CMD. I can navigate like CD, Ctrl V, Enter. Now you can see that I am inside of this folder, right? If I type code space point and type enter, my Visual Code is going to open with this specific folder already inside of it, right? You are going to click yes, I trust the authors. You can close this screen right here, and this is your first contact with Visual Code. You can see that our files are here. I can open them through these tabs. All right, so basically here we have our file explorer. Here we have our notepads, right? And if you go here and click toggle panel in this specific part where you can see the design with a bar below the screen, you're going to see that our terminal has been opened here, right? So with this environment, you can see that you can develop your programs all in one environment. Okay, so you have here again, we have our file explorer, we have our notepad or many files in the notepad, and we have here our terminal. So I can run the commands here, Python calculations.py, and it's going to run here the same way we had run in the terminal. Okay, you can modify your files if you want. So 2 plus 2 is or equals. To save, you do the same thing, you run the same command like Ctrl S, right? You can see that if I modify anything here, we can see this white circle, and if we type Ctrl S, the circle disappears, right? It means that we have already saved our file. So if I run this by no, Ctrl Z, let's undo, Ctrl S, click here in the terminal, and Python hello.py. We have a result here. Alright, so that's how you create your first program in Python, and that's how you use Visual Code to write your first lines of code. Alright, in the future you're going to see how to use this section right here, that is the chat, where you can tell AI to do things for you. But for now, let's stick to the basics and let's get used with the file explorer, the terminal, and the notepad that are together, that are gathered in the Visual Studio Code. These are some of the real interviews that I recorded to show you how real companies interview developers from inside. Use them to prepare for real interviews and get the job of your dreams. Go to marosacademy.com or click the link below.